if you and I are leading a big corporation and we want to change a product line, we have time to do that. We can strategize, we can do market research, we can come back, and it might take us 2 or 3 years to change our product line, and change our production methodology and how we either outsource it or do the internal works. But think about, in the fire community, how much time do you have to make decisions, to look at, we can make changes in the non-emergency side or the non-fire side. And again, I use the term emergency from the first hat I wore, the structural side of the house, because, a fire in the ecosystem could be an emergency, depending on what values are at risk and how we view those things. But we don't always have the luxury of time to make decisions and to plan out. Because think about the normal operational period under ICS, where when you print an incident action plan, that IAP the next morning when you brief it is as good as it was last night when you put it together, and how many things have changed. Actually had a couple of young folks on a fire one day, morning briefing. We were making some changes to the IAP, and this engine module came to me and said, "You can't do that." I said, "What do you mean?" He says to me, "It's written in the IAP that we're going to be in Division Delta or wherever it was, and we're supposed to be doing these things, and now we've been moved to like Division Charlie and going to do something else. You can't change the IAP." I said, "It's a living document. That's a documentation of what we knew last night. Things changed overnight. We lost the fire on this piece," or whatever that situation was. But they were adamant that we couldn't change the incident action plan because it was written in stone, and so I'm wondering, okay, so where did our education fail these guys? And I didn't blame them. I blamed me as a leader and the educational process. Where did we fail these guys?